Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to Stretch the Sketch. We are paired up today with Follow a Sketch February, and Sandy's doing the same sketch on her channel, and I believe she's actually stretching it along with us. So this is our sketch this time, I am stretching it into a double pager this month. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I am again using some Girl Scout photos, and so I've pulled out some Paige Evans Horizon paper, and I am trying to get that used up. And if you are familiar with my channel, or you watch my channel and you see the other video that I have popped up today, I am also using some Horizon paper on another Girl Scout layout over for the Craft IQ challenge. So you can check that out too. So what I did was I just stuck this green paper, which I love this color of green, and I actually really like this paper. It's one of my favorite papers in this collection. I actually could use this paper even more frequently just because the color, I actually like both sides of it. I love that dark blue with that lime green. But anyway, these are my last two sheets of it, and I stuck it in my silhouette, and I had it cut the largest circles I could make it cut. Well, maybe not quite the largest, but fairly large. They're at least 11 inches. And without thinking, you know what, they didn't have to be that big, but you know what, that's how big they are now. So since they were the last two pieces, that's what I'm stuck with. So I'm going to make it work. I'm just using the cut off excess pieces to kind of fill in the space over here on the right hand side. And I think it looks good. I don't think there's any problem with it, and it kind of makes me happy. So yeah, it does. So I pulled out these river rafting photos. These are actually not the photos that I'm going to use on this layout, but I was just pulling these out for placement. I did consider using these photos, but they were a little bit busy for what what I was going for today. I actually had some photos of the girls on this trip, and they are just swimming in the swimming hole. And I'm not actually going to show you the photos because they're in their swimsuits. Now, the girls are all grown up. They're in their mid to late 20s now, but just out of respect for them, they're in their swimsuits, and I didn't know that, without contacting them and saying, hey, do you care if your photo is on the internet in a swimsuit? I just didn't want to do that to them. So out of respect for them, I've covered up the photos with this awful pink Post-its, which is very distracting. And at some point I will realize that and switch it over to white paper so that the pink is not quite so distracting. But I am using pink on this layout because you saw I pulled out that sparkling berry, I believe is what it's called, Catherine Pooler ink. And I just inked up the photo mats just to bring out some of the pink because they have a lot of pink in their swimsuits. So that was kind of the goal. I'm just playing with the placement of the photos. I wanted to make sure I'm not covering up anything that I didn't want showing. And so that's why I kind of pulled the Post-it off a little bit so I could kind of see. And these photos were taken, we did a whitewater rafting trip on the South Fork of the American River, and these photos were taken at the place that we camped at, which was the Whitewater Rafting Company. It had a swimming hole. So after we went rafting, actually I don't even think it was after we went rafting. I think this was, we got there, they swam, and then the next morning we did our rafting trip. So this was in 2008. So if it seems like I can't remember, it's because it was a while ago. It's not because it was yesterday and I just have a bad memory. It was a while ago and I still have a bad memory. So I have pulled out a bunch of the ephemera that I have left over. There's just small bits and pieces from the Horizon collection. I really just don't have a whole lot left to work with, but I'm trying to use up what I can. And so I've pulled out the piece that says dream, and I'm cutting out this little banner piece that says, I think it says Happy Day, if I remember correctly. And I'm just kind of tucking things in where I think it might work and it might fit, and kind of just going with what I have so far. I do know that I want 3 embellishment areas, one on either end of this kind of row of photos, and then one nestled up at the top of the photo that is furthest left on the right hand page. And then I don't have any flowers left from this collection. I've used them all. I think I had more than one pack. I really wish they would like just give you way more flowers, or maybe I should just invest in more flowers when I buy them. So I have this package of flowers from, I believe, Pinkfresh Studios. And the purple is actually really similar. It's kind of like a periwinkle purple. And so I found that that was working. Also, the light pink in it worked well with the other pieces in this collection. So I am just pulling out the pieces that I think match well, and I'm tucking those in and layering them up to kind of bring the colors all the way across the page. So it doesn't have to be the exact same size, but I do want the colors represented. Now these acrylic pieces that I've pulled out, those are from Obed Marshall's Buenos Dias collection. And I just have a couple of those pieces left, and so I thought I would bring those in because that light pink is very similar. Oh, there we go. Happy Blooms. That is the floral ephemera piece that I used, and it is from Pinkfresh Studio. And then I decided I did want that little piece that says Dream to have a bit of dimension. So it is tucked under, but the outer edge of it is popped up onto some foam tape. And same with the flowers, and that works really well because the acrylic has some dimension. And so I'm pretty happy with the way that that's working. And then the one on the right hand side, I wanted to make sure that the writing at the top of that little card that I tucked under showed. So I kind of nestled it in between the leaves of the flower cluster there, and I like how that looks. And then this larger piece that says something about feeling beautiful. Feel beautiful today. I want to have that little banner piece, kind of the inside of the little fishtail. I want the T in today to kind of nestle into that little area. So it's kind of like a little puzzle when I'm placing things down, and it just kind of makes it feel like it flows. I'm not covering up any of the letters, and it looks like it was meant to be there. So that's kind of my thinking as I'm doing this. And then the little piece that has the flower that I just tucked in up at the top underneath that green journaling area, I know that that is spanning across the 2 pages, which is okay because the photograph below it is also spanning across the 2 pages. And so that makes me happy, and I know I'm going to have to cut it, which is not a problem, but it makes the pages feel really cohesive to me. Now, back some time ago, they did have what were called flush mount page protectors, and it would be 2 that were stuck together so that when you opened up the 2, they were meant for like a double page like this, where they span the 2 pages in the middle. I did have a bunch of those, but I believe I have used them all, so I'm going to probably use my fuse tool to create a couple of more of those. I could either do that, or I could actually sew them on the sewing machine, because in a D-ring album, there would be a split right down the middle. Now, in a postbound album, it's not a big deal because they do stay close together in the center anyway. And I believe that might be the case for a strap hinge. I haven't used a strap hinge in ages, so I honestly couldn't swear to that. So I did tuck in that little piece that has an airplane on it. We didn't fly any, but I wanted to indicate some travel had happened. So I went ahead and used it. It's the right color and the right shape, so I thought it would work. It would work okay. And then I did pull out these stickers or thickers. These are also from Paige Evans, but I don't believe they're from this particular collection. I think they are possibly from Bloom Street, or I'm not really 100% sure. But they are from Paige Evans for sure. So my title is going to be swimming. No, actually, it is something else. It's river swimming. I actually did this layout quite a while ago, and I just hadn't gotten around to voicing it because I was sick for a little while, and so I could not remember all of the things that I had done. So my title is River Swimming, and again, that is also spanning the 2 pages. Totally okay with me. I'm going to, again, put them in page protectors that meet up in the middle. So also, as you can see there, I swapped out those gaudy pink post-it notes for white, so it's a little less distracting. And I really like that a lot better because it was really messing with my eye to have the bright pink on there, because I kept wanting to pull in that bright pink color to my clusters because there was so much pink in there. Again, I went to my Pinkfresh Studio Ephemera and I pulled out that little pink card where I can add a little bit more journaling, and this little green piece, which seems like it doesn't match, but it actually does match that piece that says feel beautiful today. It's a different shade of green. And this collection did have a couple of different shades of green in it, so I'm okay with that. And then I pulled out this stamp set. It is from Elizabeth Craft Designs, CS 131. It's called Circle Labels. And so I pulled that out and I stamped a couple of different ones of those, trying to figure out which color would be the right color. I believe I ended up using, I want to say it's Lime Ricky. No, I think it's Melon Ice that I end up using for this particular piece. I think I used Lime Ricky and it was too dark. I will put that down in the description box below so you have that information as well. So just adding another piece of green up there, kind of trying to mimic the green that is on the opposite page. I do want to add this little string into the top of that tag that's at the in the middle section there. And while I do that, I will remind you this is a hop that we do every month. The third Sunday of the month, we take a 12 by 12 sketch. We either stretch it or shrink it. It just can't be a 12 by 12. And I've got a lot of friends playing along with me today, so go and check them out. The links to their channels are all down below. And I would love for you to go and give them a little bit of love and see what they did today to either shrink or stretch this sketch. So that is my completed layout. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you have questions or comments, I would love for you to go ahead and leave those down below. And I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I did do a little bit of doodling, or actually stitching on there. I actually pulled everything up and stitched around those circles a little bit after the fact. So you can see that in the close-ups. Again, thanks for watching. I will see you guys again soon with another video. Bye-bye.